We're now ready to take a look at the last of our activities in the address book app. And the Add, Edit, Contact activity, which you now see on the screen, is going to be displayed in two different scenarios within this app. When the user is working within the address book activity, if the user opens the menu and selects the Add Contact menu item, that's going to result in this Add, Edit, Contact activity being displayed with a set of empty edit texts so that the user can add in a new contact to the database. Now, the other case is when we're working from the View Contact activity. If the user decides to edit the currently displayed contact by opening the menu and selecting the Edit Contact menu item, this activity will be displayed, but in that case the edit texts will be pre-populated with whatever information was already in the database for the specified contact. Now, as you look at the import declarations here at the beginning of the class, you'll notice that we've seen all of these different types before in either this app or earlier apps. So there's a bunch of things that we'll be doing here that we've actually seen previously. Now, as you can see here, the Add, Edit, Contact class extends activity, so it's just a subclass of the standard activity class. We have a private long integer called row ID, which is going to represent the contact's location in the database, the row ID in the database. And we have private instance variables for each of the edit texts that will be displayed within this activity. Now, when method onCreate gets called, as we normally do, we're going to inflate our GUI, get references to the GUI controls that we need to be able to interact with programmatically, and skipping down to the bottom here for a moment, we're also going to get a reference to the Save Contact button and register its on-click listener so that when the user does touch the button to save the contact, the information will be stored in the database. Now, the new part of this onCreate method is what I've now highlighted on the screen. Remember that when this activity gets launched, depending on which of the other activities launched it, there may or may not be a bundle of extra information that allows us to properly process the contact. So again, going back to the context of the address book activity, when the user selects to add a new contact, there is no additional information that we provide to this Add, Edit, Contact activity because we're creating a new contact from scratch. On the other hand, when we say to edit an existing contact from the View Contact activity, then we're passing in a bunch of extra information that represents the currently displayed contact's name, email, phone number, street, and city. So we're going to go ahead and attempt to get those extra pieces of information by getting the intent that launched this activity and then getting its extras. Now, the getExtras method will either return a bundle containing the extras, or it will return null if there were no extras attached to the intent. Now, if we launch from the address book activity, getExtras will return null. If we launch from the View Contact activity, it will return a bundle. And that's how we can tell in this app whether the address book activity or the View Contact activity launched this activity. So if the extras is not equal to null, we know that it was launched by the View Contact activity, so we go ahead and get all of the extras out of the bundle. So again, extras is the bundle we got up above here, Then we get the long that represents the row ID of the contact in the database. We also go ahead and set our name edit text, email edit text, etc. to the values that were stored for the name, email, phone, street, and city. So we display all of the existing information for the contact, thus allowing the user to edit that existing information.